Clips, clips.
And remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell. Oh, alrighty, boob tubes. Another one of clips. Long time no see, but I've really had nothing new to add, man. This shit haven't been fucking on a spin cycle for years. But let's do a bit of spin cycle and add something new to it and compare what the hell's been happening. Oh my god, I think I've got the autofocus on my fucking camera. Anyway, how yous all keeping? And don't worry, man, this isn't a doom and gloom video about impending annihilation. I have, man, I'm going to have to fix that camera, pain in the arse. Configure video and turn the fucking autofocus off, man. Makes you sick. Anyway, all sorted. So don't worry, this isn't a doom and gloom video about a pending doom and gloom and nuclear annihilation and all that. Far from it, it's the complete opposite. It really genuinely is. But before we go there, I want to go and do... I'm not jumping on the bandwagon either, by the way, about all the recent fucking turn to 11 doom and gloom that's coming from all angles. All angles. You know, the people that believe the internet is the only thing that tells you the truth, and the TV lies to you, and the people that think the TV tells you the truth, and the internet lies to you. Both camps. Both polarised fucking rabbit holes are getting the double barrel bullshit turned to 11. So in the evening, let me see. I forgot how to do this. It's been so long. Devon and Roberto in the morning, gents. So the first thing I want to do is take a blast from the past. If I can find the right button, doobie-doobie-doo. So I think that this was the one I wanted to show you first. World War III is happening right now, man! And this was back in 2013. So I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, I'm actually repeating myself. So I thought I would do another wee kind of version of this and just... And relieve people's fears as well. It's happening, folks. You're not going to be depending... It's the Illuminati, I'm telling you. Depending on what country you're in, and whether you're in a poor country that might get used as a proxy in this war, you're alright, you're good in the hood. Like, for example, in the UK, what are we going to have to put up with in World War III? A wartime economy. It's happening, folks. You might hear all the politicians bumping their gums about the reasons happening, and it's happening worldwide. It's happening worldwide because the world is at war. Everywhere's in the fucking world, a wartime economy. That's why everybody's balls are getting squeezed, because the money has to get directed elsewhere. And as I even used to say back, and I think maybe I might have even said it back in 2013, I can't remember what time, but to create the new world order, you have to destroy the old. And right now the world is in flux. It's an absolute flux. Everything's changing. The power structure's changing and all that. Right, so this was back in 2013. That was back in 2013. It was kind of a continuation because there was just more war happening everywhere. Even back then, the shit with Russia was going down in the town. Now, why was I thinking this way back then? Well, it's for a very simple reason. I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was definitely in the conspirasphere, if I can say that properly. But they used to talk about an Economist, the Economist magazine. It gets ripped to shreds and all that. It's quite provocative, let's say. But they had a front cover and it was talking about China being the top economy in 2050. Projections, right? And the projections, EU, Google all this shit and you can find out these finer details. I've long forgotten for fucking 2013, nearly 9 years ago. Forecast China dominates, right? Now, this is what prompted me to make these videos, right? I was looking at this shit, going into my history at the time and realising that China, no matter what people were saying, no matter who was bumping their gums and whatever talking head or fucking conspiratard cult of personality person was saying, I was looking at all this shit and making up my own mind. And I'm saying, right, okay, if I'm Britain, if I'm America, if I'm France, and all these Western economies that were dominated for God knows how many hundreds of years, right? It's times of the empires. When we went over, flung fucking China out of Hong Kong, fucking fucked all that shit up. And I don't know if you have noticed all that stuff's getting turned to 11 again. America's economy is trying to, they're openly announcing policies to break away from China economically, right? Because they're scared of China becoming the biggest economy in 2050, right? And all this stuff was 2012, right? Here's the Guardian way back in 2012, and that's why in 2013 I'm like, World War III's already fucking happening, man. The writing's on the fucking table. See, as soon as those predictions and projections came in, and it wasn't just like Alex Jones projecting Red Dawn or some shit, right? It was like all the fucking, all the human abacuses, Jews crunching the numbers, man, in the banking industry, like, whoa, China's going to be number uno. And people also, I believe, right, this is just my belief, I'm probably batshit crazy, but people also fail to forget the countries are nothing more than an illusion, right? It's like a fake sovereignty and belonging to a fucking flag and all that shit. It's nothing more than a way of controlling people, right? The people on top don't fucking see that shit. They're floating about on their boats like pirates, like that, right? I'll go over here, fucking put some money here and bury my treasure there, bury my treasure here. They don't see countries. They just turn all the stupid people that see countries and fucking salute to flags and all that shit against each other for their objectives. And their objectives, 9 times out of 10, are pirates. You know, privateers. Fucking on their big fucking super yachts, going wherever they want, whenever they want, with whoever they want, obeying whatever law they want. People forget about this and we're all like, Britannia, or fucking A Flare of Scotland. I wish our national anthem was about a unicorn. But anyway, I digress. So, this is for me what's on the fucking staring everybody in the face, and this isn't like sort of a crazy shit. Like, is it a hard leap to think if you're British aerospace engineering and all the fucking Western military industrial complex, if you're sitting there and you've been numero uno for all these years, you've built up a fucking hell of an army that can kick anybody's ass right now, right here, right now. And then you fucking see like Mr. Chinaman fucking saying like, oh, me no sorry. Me gonna kick your ass come 2050. Right? Do you not think they would put the gears in motion and start doing shit to fuck them up? Is that hard a leap? Is that like conspiracy crazy talk? Or is that just understanding reality, looking at history and seeing at every point in history, all the wars have pretty much been about that. King Dong worried about some kind of other King Dong and try to put a stop to it. Sorry for the simplification, man, but that's the way fucking I see it. Whether I'm crazy or not, fuck knows. But this is how sort of I can see how, like World War III's happening right now, so depending where you are, you're not going to be fighting in the trenches. In the UK, we've got a wartime economy, right? But we're also getting fed all this bullshit, like fucking, we're getting, hold on, what's happening here today in the UK? Oh, right, sorry, me so sorry. Right, to build on this, if you have watched the news today, you'll see the Chinese minister guy that went to Beijing is getting browbeaten. Now, I should have actually got this up, but I forgot. The New Silk Road. Right, hopefully I'll just be able to get a quick picture. Here we go. Now, I wish I could fucking... Anyway, if you can't see that, that's China constructing infrastructure, road, rail, so on and so forth, all the way over to Germany. It's constructed, I think. You know what? It's been that long since I've looked into it. It's that long since I've had the... But I knew it was there. I knew it was in plan. And so that's China directly linked to the European Union. Right, do you think Britain likes that? Now, also go and do your history on what Hong Kong is, how it came about, all the funny fucking shit about it. It's quite actually a funny story. Minus all the deaths and genocide and all that shit. But go and look at that, and go and look what's happening in Hong Kong today. So, right, recap, and then I'll try and do a wee... what else is happening in the news today? Oh, aye, the UK energy companies are now going to pay people to use their electricity when they say. And don't worry, they'll give you plenty of warning. So what they're going to do is they're going to switch shit off using your smart meter. Hey, you feel so smart now getting a fucking smart meter? But it's all voluntary now. Right now it's only voluntary, and it's only for people with smart meters. So you go, hey, sir, I want cheap electricity. All right, I won't use my washing machine between these hours. I'll keep the neighbours up at night by fucking running it through the night. Woo! Everyone's a winner, baby, that's for sure. They're now fucking preparing us for blackouts and all that. And people don't think we're at war. But the blackouts during World War II. I'll need to dig my granny and granda up and ask them. But anywho, go and look into the New Silk Road. It's like the old Silk Road, but new and different route. Interesting history, you know. And this is where I get my opinions from. Not cult of personalities on YouTube, and then coming on YouTube and rhyming and repeating what they say verbatim, pretending you're intelligent or fucking you've came to your own fucking ideas or some shit. And by the way, I'm going to be doing a Naughty InfoWars Nightly News on Tuesday, man. There's too many fucking crackpots still on this fucking booktubes fucking falling for all sorts of shit, man. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sitting here privately laughing at them. And there's a few folk have asked, believe it or not. And they want the shits and giggles back, so I'm going to do a wee one on Tuesday, so a wee heads up there. But go and look into the New Silk Road. So let's recap. World War III has been happening for a very long time. The trigger was pulled back in prior to 2012. What was it? PNAC and all that shit. Well, you could even say that the trigger was pulled in 9/11. Whatever you think about that. You could say that was the time when the mindset of the general public started to change. And World War III is different from all the other world wars because it's more for your nut. And it's a struggle for power between very rich people, and sometimes they don't fly a flag. Sometimes it's like pirates fighting pirates, mob bosses fighting mob bosses. That's a better way to think of it, rather than this country versus that country. Like, yeah, like inside each of these countries, there's a particular mob boss or pirate that operates, but they'll be just as happy fuck off over there, take their treasure with them, and set up shop there. And what is complicated is if you look into your historical stories, tellings, accuracies, will tell you war is very, 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 very fucked up and complicated. Sometimes, what have I written down here? Always bear in mind that sometimes your enemy's enemy is your friend. So they might on face surface look like enemies, but under the table they might be doing dealings because it helps them out both. And that's just one of the small complications that's easy to unravel. Migrants, where are they coming from? Go and look at your map. Migrants have been weaponised, like a lot of stuff, by the way. So migrants have been weaponised. Let's see, I forgot to stick this over here. Right, so any migrant that's coming through the Middle East, right, they're not sailing. That's too much a round trip. They need to go through go over the whole continent of Africa, or go through the Suez Canal, which would be highly regulated and be hard to do. So they're not coming by boat, so they're doing it by land. If you go and look where... Oh, fuck, I've made myself sick now. If you go and look where Turkey is, and why, like, you know what I mean? Turkey's got the... But back when I used to know this shit, but Turkey used to have the biggest standing army in the world. Just numbers, basically. Don't know if China's overtook them now. But anywho's, through that wee, do you know, Istanbul, that wee small bit there, they pretty much control the flow of people. And Erdogan, I call him Cardigan because it's easier to say, Mr. Turkey cardigan guy, he's been able to hold the West's feet to the fire by threatening to let the refugees flood through his country. And then as soon as they're up through the Caucasus and all that jazz, they've hit Eastern Europe. And we all know they love in the EU, have all got open borders and all that, but then they didn't. And now it's all a shit show, but there's still lots of open borders, enough for them to just basically walk to France. And they're just walking to France and then just wee boat over. You know what I mean? Look how short that is. Crazy. So migrants have been weaponised, and they've been weaponised even in politics, and like your enemy's enemy is your friend, right? So you might wonder why right-wing people pushing their ideology would want brown people in boats to come over. Because it's a very easy subject to get your average low IQ fucking dude riled up enough to start fucking, I don't know, throwing petrol bombs and all sorts of fucking craziness. But hey ho, that's just my opinion. Ukraine, that's a perfect example of World War III. It's a proxy war. It's getting fought by all these... So what's happening in Ukraine? Is it really Ukraine versus Russia? Because if that was the case, Russia would crush Ukraine. So it's the West versus the Russian Federation. For whatever reasons you determine, make your mind up. But I just know you still can't. You can't get. They've cut off RT, so the internet isn't free and open. They've got if they really want to, they can cut you off, and that shows you how powerful effect RT was having. And it had an effect on me back in the day. See, 2013, I'd have been fucking watching RT probably every day. No joke. Right, so pay us for electricity. So hopefully that makes some sense. So I wouldn't get riled up, man. This is as bad as it's going to get. It's just going to get a wartime. It's pretty shitty. I'm not here flying above it. I'm getting hot with the same shit as everybody else, man. Struggling and whatnot. For all sorts of reasons. If it's no fucking the COVID depression. It's fucking world. There's Ukraine, or it's the UK elections, the UK political system, the American shit. If it's no one, it's definitely the other. And look around you, man. It's like, I would say it's like collective madness. And don't let my opinions upset people. People still think the deep state Illuminati is an overarching conspiracy, and just bump their gums about bullcrap 24/7 and no see that they're getting politicised through the power of UFOs and conspiracy. You know, the penny dropped for me when I started noticing like people through the power of conspiracy gravitating towards UKIP. Not me, Kip. UKIP. But do you know what I mean? It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And I'm like, right, can you not see that guy's just telling you what you want to hear so that you go and vote for his political party, who ended up with a lot of fucking leaders of the conspiratardom online. What's his face? Big fat cunt that looked like Jeremy Beadle. Sargon of Mossad. And, that pug guy. I always forget his name. Oh, that's not a bad thing, trust me. Not a fucking bad thing. I can't even be bothered trying to remember. Right, so in the video I done in 2013, what I done is went and had a wee look around the world, right? So look at everything that's happening in Europe, right? Pretty much in every country, you've got this resurgence, the extreme right, far right, whatever you want to call them, right? But it's a particular brand of politics. And what is fueling this? Brown people in fucking boats. The same shit. Different century. Different decade. Whatever way you want to look at it. It's the same stuff. Go and look at the stuff you went through at school. I'm fucking 40. So whatever. Go and look at the stuff you done and went through in school in your history class when they were talking about the propaganda of World War II, when it was showing you the big monkey carrying the woman and all that. They're coming for your woman, right? It's the same mentality. It's getting used and propagated for the same reasons. I do believe. I was listening to the BBC today and they're talking about fucking they're taking them out the camp and putting them in hotels. I'm like, my God, that is so fucked up. But anyway, each to their own, because that's been politicised, polarised. You can't be friends with somebody if you have that opinion, if they have a different one, because these are both scum. Scum. Right, so what's happening in Africa? Oh, well, there's shit happening in Ethiopia. The royal family fucking get plenty of fucking land out in fucking Ethiopia. Is that where Djibouti is? That's Somalia, isn't it? Am I getting that's Somalia, right? Somalia. You know, you wonder why you hear so much about Somalian pirates and all that shit. Because America has a presence. Big, massive fucking drone base. And I would say for obvious reasons, I think it's Djibouti, because it sounds like booty. But I don't know exactly, I can't remember exactly where it is. Right, but is that it there? Maybe. Anyway, but it's on this wee horn bit, and I say for obvious reasons, they've got a drone base which gives them easy access to the Middle East and whatnot, with their drones. Look what happened in Pakistan, and now that ex-cricketer dude that's in politics gets shot in the leg the other day. That's as stable and not in as flux as ever. Again, another state ruled. I know pretty much Britain ruled most of the world, but and then they just left it and went, right, we've got the Commonwealth. But you better believe the influence. And I don't mean, it's not the royal family, it's not the people. They get trinkets and stuff for playing their role ceremonially and all that. But it's the institutions that are attached and that are behind the royal family, you know, like without going too deep into it, like the Crown Corporation, which is situated in the city of London, where a lot of the institutions and corporations are incorporated, and that's where their alliances and whatnot. But anyway, that's stuff you need to go and look and make your own mind up about. So we know what's happening in China, right? They're trying to... China maybe... The Americans just published a report saying that COVID most likely came out of a laboratory. And that laboratory, they're pointing fingers at the one in Wuhan. Make your own mind up. We know what's happening in Russia. We know what's happening with Russia in their fight. India. I don't know what the hell's happening in India, but I definitely know if you poked your nose in, there'll be some flux happening because it's going to be very powerful economy coming up in the world. Brazil, no, that's Africa. What am I talking about? Brazil, the right versus left things happening in Brazil as everywhere else. In America, I mean, people are urging this shit on. They're really urging it on. They really want a full-out, blown-on fucking civil war in America. If I was American, I would be getting worried. Shit you not. In the UK, we're alright, because we've no got fucking militias and armies and all sorts of low IQ people fucking reading a bit of paper and willing to go and fucking kill cunts over it. But hey, I'm no American, it's no my business, you guys get on with it. That's my attitude. Over here in the UK, I've got a big massive claymore on my wall. I'll be alright, I reckon. And I dare say there's some penguins fucking fighting as well, up there in the fucking North Pole. It's not the Antarctic penguins are they? Is there penguins at the Antarctic as well? Another thing as well, right? I wish it gave you the date. The date it doesn't, right? But Donald Trump came out today and gave his biggest hint ever that he's going to run. I put this bet on 2-3 months ago. I can't even find it in my history and all that. I bet you it's there, but I'm too dumb and I've not got the patience to run through it. But just to show you, I haven't put it on the day, or just after he announced. Just after he announced, obviously, Sky, I say obviously, but Sky bets on it like that. Boom! Let's make some dough and put it up to 4s. But I only got just 3 3.75. But still, he's going to run. He's going. That's why if I was American, I'd be shitting myself, man. People are so wound up. I mean, you've even got Kanye West out there, man, like fucking talking like fucking David Icke, man. It's mental. He's been watching too much fucking YouTube. He's another one that's fell for this. The TV's lying to you, but the internet's telling you the truth shit. Both of them are fucking as bad as each other. Do you people don't get that shit? See the people that ran the TV to influence you? They seen what was happening with the internet. They were first out the fucking traps. Look at Facebook. Facebook, his mum, a 77-year-old woman fighting with her pals over pictures they're posting and shit. Crazy, man. Fucking crazy. Social media, to the wrong people, and to me, observing this shit, to most people, it's not a positive thing. It's in small doses, aye, but some people fucking can't put it down or live their life vicariously through it. And again, I'm talking from experience. I'm not excluding myself for this shit. I've looked at fucking myself, man, in the past, like, whoa. Fucking living more there than out there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's not a positive thing. So anyway, plus I didn't put any money on Trump. I used my £5 free bet. But still, it just makes a wee statement. Trump's going to get elected, baby. People are wound up to the max. Kanye and Elon are going to fucking take yous to Trump. Trump mania? No, he's already done that, hasn't he? On the WW3, whatever you might call it. Trump land? Nah, that doesn't work. I'm just workshopping here, you know. Trumpageddon. That's what's going to happen. Come the election, he's going to win, and Americans are going to get Trumpageddon. Look how wound up the fucking retards on the left are. Look how wound up the retards on the right are. Look how militarised the fucking general populace of America is. Look how low IQ some of those motherfuckers are. Some of them are still, there's fucking motherfuckers out there still supporting Alex Jones, thinking it's a conspiracy that he's getting put through here. It's just all sorts of, rhyming and repeating all sorts of fucking jibber jabber for YouTube and their likes, as if it's like fucking real theories and all that. Everybody watched them, what he done. And unless you still want to tell me that Sandy fucking Hook was a hoax, then fuck off, man. Seriously, but batter in, if you believe that, fuck batter in. I'm no deep state Illuminati trying to tell you what you think. I think it's as batshit fucking crazy as chemtrails. Maybe you still believe in them. See, back in 2013 when I done those first clips, I was chasing chemtrails, man. Some of the first videos on this channel are me filming chemtrails. But I didn't stay still. I didn't then bounce into the cult of personality where I remember when I first started getting into hangouts and stuff, right? And I didn't like something. Well, it was his obvious pro-Jewish stance where he was coming from. His obvious unobjectivity. That triggered me about him. And I remember sitting in hangouts and fucking all forums and all that shit and feeling nervous to bring up that Alex Jones was an absolute fraud and a cunt. And by the way, Alex Jones was the first cult of personality that I fell into. And then when the penny dropped for me, I never fell into a cult of personality in the whole of the YouTubes ever again. No cunt. For David Icke, when he was doing the People's Voice. What a fraud that turned out to be. Sorry to say that I said it at the time again. Alex Jones, whenever I stopped fucking... I think it was... one thing about Alex Jones as well is when I started actually knowing things about guns, I'm like, I've never been into guns in my life. Now I know what a fucking this is and a that is and this is, because he used to do hundreds of gun shit. And fair play. If that's your bag, batter the fuck in. I have no problem with that. I just noticed that I was changing. Because of the cult of personality, because I bought into him, and then he could fill your head with any sorts of fucking shite. And I did Google how much Tangy Tangerine was, and fuck it, I kid you not, in the UK. It's too expensive and I didn't buy it, but I know that Kev Baker did. So, I was in the cult, I fell into a cult of personality. The one that I did was Alex Jones. When the penny dropped and I seen exactly what was happening, I never fell into a cult of personality over the whole of YouTube's ever again. Thus, not the InfoWars Nightly News. But what happens is, people love it when you talk bad about Alex Jones because they can see he's so full of shite. But then you say, oh, Max Egan's a cunt as well. He was the one that was filling everybody's head with 5G bullshit. You know, a fucking old Australian junkie sitting in a treehouse, fucking trying to tell people complex fucking things about mobile phone fucking signals as if it's a military weapon. Fucking idiot. Yeah, and people were stupid enough to fall for it. Fakes no. Because I fell for all this shit back in the day as well, but I learnt my lesson. Not to believe that as much as not to believe, and I'm pointing at my TV, not to believe that. Anyway, we ran over about all this shit. So World War 3 is happening, folks. Don't worry, it's as bad as it's going to get. I would be worried if I was American because fucking Trump's going to win. And people might start shooting each other. Woohoo! But hey, I'll be able to sit over here in the UK with as long as there's no a blackout, and watch all the shit on my fucking... Oh, but what people watch it on my phone? That's alright. Because even during the... So I'll need to keep my phone fully charged. and have my extra battery banks so during the blackouts I can watch America burn. I don't want this to happen, by the way. It's just the fuck all I can do about it. But lucky if fucking 3 people watch this video, never mind fucking listen to a word or comprehend anything I say, because they're happy for you to talk shite or point out people's bull crap as long as it's not the person or the cult of personality that they fell into. Then you're in the Illuminati too. That's another thing that made the penny drop with me about how crazy this shit is, when people were like, you're a Mason, you're this 33 and all that shit. Kip's Clips, that was 33. And this person believed this, really genuinely believed it. And then all the other fucking shit that goes with having the balls to actually put yourself online nowadays, man. Because trust me, it don't pay. Anywho, remember, if you do watch this, thumbs it up, man. I'll do a wee... Oops, sorry guys, I was hiding some of your comments there because I wasn't keeping an eye on the chat room. Cheech, TKS, Roberto, in the evening, Jack, in the evening and the fucking morning. Gorilla in the Mist, Blast for the Past, man. Carletta, how you keeping, hen? Rebel. And if I've missed anybody, Paul, how you doing? And if I've missed anybody out, I'm censoring you. But so recap, don't shit, like, this isn't a doom and gloom, nuclear war's going to happen, fucking World War III shit. That isn't what it's about. It's happening right now. I believe, and this isn't jumping on a bandwagon. Oh, do you know what else I came? Anyway, sorry, I might as well get this shit out, man. I've no spoke for a fucking while, you know, so I might as well get it out. What else I noticed, right, is I done an interview with Mike Rivero back in the day. It was an hour long. And I didn't watch it today, right? It was just when I was trying to search for my old videos, believe it or not. And I seen in the tagline, chemtrails, a few things that we're talking about. And one of them was Ukraine. I'm going to go back and watch it and see what the fuck. I can't remember. Done so much shit. I can't remember, but back in 2013, I believe it was, somewhere around there, so about nearly 9-10 years ago, when I was talking to Mike Rivero, something must have been happening in Ukraine back then, and I can't remember what the fuck it was. It wasn't Maidan. Maidan wasn't back. Or maybe it was just the start of Maidan and all that. I'll need to check the date out and all that, but it was just a wee tidbit. And do you know what else I noticed, man? Right. As you can see here, right, there's DuckDuckGo. I installed that today for one fucking reason, man. I was trying to find my own videos using a Google search instead of a YouTube one. Poof! Fucking no chance. You can put in my name, YouTube channel, and the fucking video name, and the likelihood of it popping up is minimal. You'll get all sorts of shit. See, back in the day, see if you put in Kip's Clips, because that's unique to me, all my channels would bounce up. Not anymore. You'll get fucking all sorts of fucking, you'll get everything other than Kip's Clips. Go and check it out, man. It's a fucking joke. So to recap, this isn't a fucking doom and gloom video at all. It's more a accept it for what it is and fucking manage your shit. That's as best as you can do it. We here in the UK will be okay, man. Do you know what I mean? There's not going to be any direct fighting in our land or anything. The only thing we're going to have to put up with is people politically inside the UK taking advantage of this to try and get into power. And that's why you see the far right trying to use everything that's happening right now to gain power. That's why it wouldn't surprise me if it was the far right that was standing on the like fucking little fucking what's his name, Jim Dawson himself, standing in the beaches of France, being these cunts handing out dinghies. You know, the more your average Brit gets fucking wound up about these brown and white cunts on boats invading our lands, the more support the far right get. Can nobody see the correlation? I can see the correlation, and I've came to conclusions based on that correlation. And everybody else is just, not everybody else, right? I'm using broad brushstrokes here, but because I'm doing Not the Infowars Nightly News on Tuesday, I've actually dipped into the crazy world of some of the personalities on BoobTubes again. And do you know it's the same shit that I was watching 10 years ago? Different players, you know, and different teams. Same shit. Exact same stuff. And if nobody can see the correlation of like all the topics, most of the talking heads on YouTube and the rumbles or whatever you want to fucking call it, wherever they've all diversified to after YouTube started coming after them. And they came after me as well, by the way, man. My channel's no worth a fuck now, man. It really isn't. The correlation but like, see, when I started talking about the truth or industrial complex, it's because it became more obvious and obvious and obvious. It was just a different head saying the same shit. If it wasn't like Max Egan talking about 5G, next thing you know, everybody else is talking about 5G. All experts, of course, but all fucking internet bums fucking scratching the living off a BoobTube. But have the complex knowledge of understanding the mechanics behind 5G? No. All they're doing is fucking lifting what he said. And Max Egan was the fucking genesis of this 5G shit that I seen. And this was a time when I was watching the Watchers. This was a time when I was doing Not the Infowars News and watching a shed load of fucking talking heads on YouTube. And Max Egan was the genesis of this 5G bullshit, direct energy weapon shite. And you know when he first mentioned it? When he came back for Anarchapulco or whatever it is, do you know the wee place down in Mexico they all go to get high in ayahuasca and talk about the next conspiracy? They're all going to, with all the next yarns, they're all going to spew. And then, funnily enough, 5G fear was everywhere. There was even a woman took into a mental institution because she could hear 5G in her head and it wasn't even in her area yet. Fact. I covered it at the time. So this is what's happening. This is the stuff this is where my opinions come from. Not buying into cult of personalities, then just rhyming and repeating their shit, but actually thinking about shit critically, which a lot of people tell you to do, but don't actually know how to do it. But hey ho. Anyway, so tune in on Tuesday if you fancy it. If you enjoyed that wee ramble and anti-fear porn thoughts. Humana. Oh, mana, pag me home. I need to work on my accent. Oh, mana, pag me home. Anyway, tune in on Tuesday night around about 8 or 9 bells, depending what's happening, depending whether I've got a blackout or not. Blackout permitting, I'll be with you on Tuesday night. So have a good weekend, y'all. I'm off to sweat my tits off at the gym. No, at the gym, man. I take that easy. In the steam room after it. Anyway, also, like, hold on. Shit, I've still got Cheech, Roberto. Sorry, got some I'm just unblocking. Was that Jack? Is that Safety Man's avatar I seen there? No, Drill is in the mist. Sorry, buddy. Thoughts. A blast for the past. Right, so thank you everybody. Have a TK. Oh, it's no TK5, it's TKS, whatever. Namaste, motherfucker. Oh, mate, Roberto, hope you and the old dear are keeping well, mate. I'm just going to have a wee skim over. See, the thing is, like, I understand the sentiment, Cheech, bullet to the head, these country. I completely understand it and get it. But it's like I'm trying to think of a ancient Greek myth or saying or some shit, man. It's like a worm. No, what is it? You cut its head off to grow back. You know? Like, I think the best way... Like, we're all familiar with... Everybody nowadays loves our true crime podcasts and all that jazz. So I think a good analogy to think about this, rather than just one person, one group, the Illuminati. I mean, like, even the story behind the Illuminati kind of proves my point, what I'm saying here, in the sense that it isn't one group. There's very powerful people using very many groups via proxy, via the back door, to look after their interests. Now, if you go and huddle some money and all that, what's a good way to keep it? To take over a country and have the country protect you. It's kind of like what I think's happening in Israel. You know, I think it's fundamental Christians that took over Judaism and are now using the Jews via proxy to protect that area of land against the brown people, the marauding Muslims, and this has been happening for thousands of years, folks. Literally thousands of years, or 1,000 years. Or probably before that as well. Thousands of years, fuck it, I'll stick with that. They're using the Jews for proxy as a kind of human shield and bodyguards that they're dispensable. The Orthodox Christians hate the Jews. Lord Balfour, who signed the declaration to create Israel, everybody blames Rothschild. Look, again, the Jews. Go and look at Lord Balfour, who he was, his political beliefs, and his genealogy, and you'll get a better idea who created Israel, and thus kind of at that point created Zionism, which took over Judaism and are now using the Jews via proxy to guard that area of land. Now you look at what happens on the Temple Mount all the time. You have the Jews fighting the fucking Muslims and all the shit that goes on, and all the Christians are just walking nicely to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I can't, Sepulchre or whatever, I can't say it right. I don't pronounce it properly. Which is the Church of Jesus, which to Protestantism, who you could argue Robert Burns was the start of that. He was the first king in Britain that didn't bow to the Pope. He was actually excommunicated from Rome. The head of their church, the head of the Church of Scotland is Jesus, not the Queen. A little unknown fact. The head of the Church of England, the Queen, sorry, the King. The royal family have no jurisdiction in the Church of Scotland. They might be in there at some level, right, but they ain't near the top. Whereas you go down to England, because of the Catholic influence they had to put a protector in. Well, this is what history tells us. And it turned out to be the royal family who are head of the church. But the royal family represent an institution. And again, it's like, see if you had tunnels of money, would you want cunts to know about it? Because then you would get even meaner cunts coming through your front door to steal all your shit. So you hide behind folk, you create barriers, proxies, behind proxies, behind proxies. And everybody's into their true crime and like the mafia films and organised crime and all that shit. Do you not think the fucking governments of the world are exactly the same and they're organised exactly the same? And then they get their people who appear to be legit. I'm getting, think of the fucking... we all know this, but it's fairly well known. And then you fall down the conspiracy rabbit hole, and next thing you know, you're blaming one group, and it's all the Satanism. And as soon as you get scared enough about Satanism, you run to God. You go to a truther march or somewhere with a truther. You'll find a lot. They'll either be like burning incense and be fucking tie-dye shit, going home and drinking pish. or tune to the moon on Jesus and the religion and all that shit. Instead of following their own way, or see, I've got my own religion. And it's a pick and mix, that's what I like to call it. It's a bit like masonry. Just to wind cunts up, but I'm being serious. And that was part of the... No, it wasn't actually. I actually came to that conclusion way before in my life. Before I started even researching fucking Freemasonry or any of that shit. And then I noticed that our attitudes kind of matched in the sense that you just take in as much as you can and make your own mind up. But it's kind of common sense, isn't it? But some people don't have common sense, and they need somebody to tell them. So they need somebody to tell them what to think and how to think it. This is who God is. This is what He wants you to do. This is what's good. This is what's bad. Even if you go and look at the historical religious figures that are high up and held in high regard, they never preached any of this fucking polarised shit. I preferred the stories from back in the day when the pagans and all that shit were brushing shoulders with with the Christians, so on and so forth, and everybody was kind of picking and mixing their gods. They've got a god of sucking my cock. That's the god I pray to when I'm getting a blowjob. They've got a god of taking a good dump. Oh, that's the one I pray to when I'm squeezing a hard one out. You know, that's the way they used to rock back in the day before everybody started jumping on the bandwagon, hadn't to simplify it to fucking make one singer one song and everybody thus becoming one. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a word that escapes me right now. Amalgamating, I think. Probably spoke wrong there. But anywho's... Aye, so that's kind of my bull crap on that. King Tampon, frontman. And if people can't see that it's not for me to point out, secrecy is human nature. They need to be told that they're allowed. It's not their fault. They need to be told at a young age. Well, I watched a video on YouTube's the other day as I was getting shit together for Tuesday, and it was a Russian guy. Now, he claimed to be independent. I would argue he clearly wasn't. He was pandering, if not deliberately, then like overtly. Long story short, he was a Russian citizen and he was talking about new practices that have been put into Russian schools. Before I switched off, because I didn't watch the full clip, one of the first practices he was talking about was Putin's installed, or they have installed, kids from an early age singing the national anthem and saluting or whatever or singing the national anthem and raising the flag. And he's talking about this as if it's like indoctrination and all that shit. and I believe so. It's indoctrination to a flag, isn't it? It's to make you loyal to a team that might not even suit your needs, that need poor people to die for them. But America does the exact same shit. We do it over here with our fucking royal family worship. Fuck's sake, we can't finger any money without fingering the Queen. Anyways, I'll have a wee smoke of this. Take it. It's a good one. Cips. Competing conspiracies. Mate, even the left and the right and everything in between, and other people for other causes use everything for their own benefit, obviously, you know. Alex Jones, at his height of power when he was getting Trump on and Trump sitting in the White House, would still call himself the resistance and shit. Like, what are you talking about, pal? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Donald Trump gave Alex Jones a private tour of the White House, let him sit in the seat, you know what I mean? Anyway, folks, it's 11:30. I'm going to shoot off. Thanks for watching, everybody, and remember, if you did enjoy that, stick a wee thumbs up, it's much appreciated. Write some comments if you're watching later. Let me know how yous are getting on, and if yous are surviving World War 3. Alrighty, boob tubes. Have a... Oh, hold on, I need to push some buttons. Have a good one. Catchies.
Cips clips.
And remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell.